Hey, welcome to the Simple Man's Workshop. Today I'm going to show you how to cut laminate countertop with a backsplash. Pretty easy to do, so just hang around and watch how it's done. First, let's talk about the tools you need to get this project done. We're definitely going to need a tape measure. I've got a carpenter's pencil, got some blue tape, I've got 3 or 4 clamps, a framing square. Any old skill saw will do. The key to that skill saw is going to be the blade. This blade is a Diablo ultra finish 60 tooth blade. You need an ultra finish blade, a fine cutting blade for laminate. It'll keep it from chipping it out. Also, I'm going to show you a little bit of how to make this rip fence to make the cut really nice. So this is a rip fence that I build to help me make the cut with the backsplash countertop. This board here, from right here to right here, is 25 1/4. This little notch that's cut out right here is 1.5 inches by 3/4. This piece from here to here is 9 1/4. And from here to the start of this groove right here is 4 1/4. Then this groove is actually 1.5 inches wide and 1/2 inch deep. So the reason we do this is with this groove down here and this little notch up here, this is the profile of the countertop. It slides right into place over that little notch right there and over the groove on this end down here, which gives us a good straight rip fence all the way from the backsplash to the tip of the countertop. Okay, so I'm actually going to cut this 24 1/2 inches from here. The cut's going to be over here. This blue tape, when I measure over 24 1/2, I'm going to try to make sure that line is in the middle of this blue tape to help me protect this top. So what I usually do is I'll tear 2 pieces and then get my tape measure and I pull across and I make sure that I'm putting the center point of that tape as the center point of 24 1/2. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just need to make sure that saw blade's going to fall inside of that tape. Same here. Center point of that tape, 24 1/2. So then you can do that, line it up down here, do that, push it across. Now you've got a protective coating on that countertop for your cut. It helps keep it from chipping out as much. Now I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing on the back side. I'm going to tear 2 pieces, so I have me some little reference points. I'll measure over 24 1/2 and use my center point, just a visual center point in that blue tape to the 24 1/2. And same here. 24 1/2. Now grab your blue tape. I'll come from right here, come up and around, then come across. Now you've got it wrapped all the way around your top. So this is the point I need my framing square. I hook, measure over on top of the blue tape now. I'll mark my 24 1/2 mark on the blue tape right there. Now, this is your square point across your top on that lip. So if you slide your framing square all the way down, flush it up to that lip, and then line it up with your mark and hold it there, then you're going to have a perfect 90-degree angle. That cut right there is a perfect cut for your 24 1/2. So now I've flipped it over and I put a couple of blocks under it to get it up off my workbench so I won't cut my workbench. And now I'm going to clamp it to the workbench so it won't move as we're trying to cut it. So I am going to clamp this top to my workbench, put a little bit of tension on it. Now the top's not going to go anywhere as we're cutting. So now we're going to take the rip fence that we built and we're going to set it right here just a little off the blue line like that. We're going to take the skill saw and it is unplugged. We're going to take the saw. I set the blade the depth of where it would barely touch the surface that it's sitting on so that I can set the saw on the blue tape and line up the teeth of the saw blade on the pencil line that I marked. So now I've got it sitting on the pencil line. I push the fence over, hold it in place, grab my clamp, slide it in, tighten it down. Don't tighten it all the way because we might need to make an adjustment. Just snug it. Now I go back here, do the same thing. Set it here, line up the saw blade with the teeth on the pencil mark. Teeth on the saw to the pencil mark on the blue tape. Slide the fence to it. Hold it in place. Get your clamp. Slide your clamp in place. Like that right there. Tighten your clamp down. Check both spots again. That's perfect. That's perfect. So the depth of the saw is still set at a shallow depth. Now we need to set the saw depth at around 1 3/4 to 2 inches. Now my saw has a setting on the back that I can actually bring it to the 2-inch mark like that right there. And now I'm set at 2 inches for the cut. So you definitely need to be more than 1.5 inches because the thickness of that top is 1.5 inches. I usually set it at about 1 3/4 to 2 inches. All right, so now that we've got that, when we go to cut, and we get to this point right here, you can see the base of the saw is going to bump into that 3/4 lip. So one of the best things you can do a couple of things, is as you get to that point, you pick that up and you bring it over that, but make sure you're pushing against your rip fence as you're cutting. Makes yourself a little unstable. So what I do is I have some 3/4 inch wedges is what they are. I put them right here, and it makes a ramp so that saw blade slides and goes up over that without you having to make adjustments whatsoever. It just goes into place just like that right there. So I cut those wedges, makes it easy. And what I usually do after I cut those wedges is I'll take blue tape, and it just helps hold that wedge in place. Blue tape there, and blue tape there. And then at the bottom, I'll do it so that it glides very smooth over the surface. So now, as your saw comes down through here, you see, it's just going to go right up over the top and do the full cut without any issue whatsoever. All right, I got the saw plugged in. I've got the saw depth set right. We've got everything in place. So now I'm going to take the saw and I'm going to squat down, stay against the rip fence. I've got ear protection in my ears. I've got safety glasses on. Now I'm going to cut here and I'm going to rotate around and then go towards the front. So we're going to cut and keep rotating and staying against the rip fence. That quick. We'll move on to flip it over and I'll show you what it all looks like. So now I've got all the tape off of it, flipped it over. Now I'm looking at my cut. It's a beautiful cut. No chip outs, looks great, nice straight cut. Now it'll be really easy to put an end cap kit on this thing. Hey, thanks for checking out the Simple Man's Workshop. I hope you were able to get a good cut on your countertops. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. I hope you come back and check out more videos soon. Thanks a lot.